All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Tennis Culture Podcast. Nelson and Rez here. We've got a special edition. We're at the Canberra International. We've been put in the boardroom, and we're going through a bunch of players this week, and I'm really happy to get this guy on because he's flashy. He's got the best haircut in all of tennis. Him and JJ Wolf are up there. But, JJ got his cut, right?
It, yeah, so.
So now Sweeny...
You're representing, mate.
Yeah.
Representing.
That's all I got.
So today we have on the podcast Dane Sweeny. Dane, thanks so much for jumping on with us today, mate.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
First of all, how are you finding Canberra? You've been down here a few times. You've had a bit of success down here.
Yeah, I like it because I win here. So, no, but I do enjoy the city. It's the facilities here are unreal. So
Whereabouts are you staying? You staying close by?
the Avenue Hotel.
Oh, nice,
Yeah, it's
nice.
Like near the city, 10 minutes. There's heaps of nice restaurants and stuff.
Yeah,
so it's cool.
awesome, mate, awesome. Well, you had a good win yesterday. How you feeling about going into to today?
Just got doubles today, but yeah, pretty just relieved to start the year off as I did.
Yep.
He's a quality player and I've played well, so it's good to prove my pre-season right, and I've been working hard, so it's good to show that with a good result to start the year.
Yeah, awesome, mate. Well, look, we know your time's limited, so we kind of want to jump in. So you're a sunny coast boy. I did my research. You're born in Penrith?
Yeah, born in Penrith.
Were you there for a while, or?
I can't remember it first 3 years of my life, so yeah.
Hey, does that mean you're a Panthers fan?
No, I should be, but I actually go for the Eels.
Oh,
Really?
my God. You have made Nelson's day.
Dude, did you cry as well?
When we lost? Not really. But, my dad probably did. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. What's it like training, playing, using the sunny coast as a base? The Sunshine Coast, for those who don't live in Australia, and it's a little bit above Brisbane. It's a beautiful place to live. You love calling that place home?
Yeah, I can't see myself living anywhere else. There's not too many tennis players there, so it's a bit hard. If I train with Callum Puttigal and Sam Oster and Liam Puttigal, but if they're not there, it's pretty hard to come by some players. So it is a beautiful part of the world, but I am there in between there and Brisbane for training, because Brisbane obviously has so many amazing professional players and the facilities are unreal. But yeah, Sunny Coast is special place. Yeah.
And you mentioned you had a good pre-season. How long were you training for? What you were doing? Like, what was the focus for? Because 2023, new year, fresh. You had a good year last year, a couple ITF titles.
Yeah.
And now top 250. Congratulations.
Thank
Looking
you.
for up and onward.
Yeah.
What was your pre-season like? What were you trying to focus on?
I was actually a massive shift. I've been with the National Academy, and I still am technically in the academy. I've been with them for 10 or 11 years, but now not working with an academy coach. I'm working with my dad. So he
Nice.
took the reins. He started. He coached me since I started playing, which was when I was 2 years old.
Wow.
So, as soon as I could walk, he was coaching me. So that was a big shift, but I had an immense amount of trust in him and his ability. He reads the game super well. He's never actually coached anyone besides me. And I coached my brother, actually, but he quit early. He's never played, but he just has that innate ability to read the game unbelievably. And so that was a big shift, and we made some changes to my game. I went from a step-up serve to platform.
Wow.
And that really, that kind of clicked straight away.
Nice.
I made a little change to my forehand, trying to make the backswing a tiny bit cleaner, and just a few game style changes. But he keeps it really simple, and I was working very, very hard. And the guys in Brisbane were awesome at the academy. They're pushing me, and my dad's still working full time, so he's finding it hard to coach me. So that's why I went to Brisbane I was in Sunshine Coast for 2 weeks, working with my dad, and then 2 weeks in Brisbane just to train with a lot of pros and get a good feel for that. But it was a really good pre-season. I think I got all I could out of myself, so that's why I went into this year. I'm very confident.
Nice, mate. Training with your dad, let's just touch on that for a little bit, because it is something we see sometimes in the tennis world, relatives, fathers, uncles being their coach as well.
King Richard styles.
Yeah, a little bit. Nowhere near to the level of you, but my dad was my coach for ages, and I always found that there was great trust. I could just be completely open and honest with him. There was also a lot of friction because it's hard to separate the coach and when you go home or at family events. How have you found that sort of, I know he was your coach early on, now it's back here, you're a bit older now. How are you finding it sort of separating the professional from the family?
Yeah, I find it I have to bite my tongue sometimes, for sure. If you have a coach, it's not your relative. You kind of just, whatever they say, you just take on board. But with my dad, I just have that trust in him, and whatever he says, I find it really helps my game. So I don't help. There's not too much friction, to be honest. I really believe that whatever he says is right. So at the moment, and every time he's had a say in my tennis, I've always found it's been super beneficial. So
excellent,
awesome.
Excellent.
So you got Canberra International now. Then what's next? I think you're playing
Australian Open qualies at the moment. Yeah. So obviously pumped for that. It's the best time of year.
So good. Yeah, fantastic. And then when you finish in the Australian summer, next journey, next travel segment of your career? Or next
I'll be going to play most likely Burnie Challenger in Tasmania. And then at the moment I'm looking to go to India a week after that. There's 300k challenges there. So trying to get my ranking good enough where I can play French Open queues. I'm like kind of on the cusp, so just a few more. I got a little bit to defend, and hopefully I can get a few more points as well as defending those points that's coming off. And yeah, hopefully I can play French Open qualies. That'd be unreal.
Yeah. How do you go with the travel?
If you're winning, it's great. I've had a lot of losing overseas, so it's tough, but I enjoy it. Not all the time, but it's just you gotta learn to even enjoy it somehow when you're not enjoying it. That's just part of it. You realize that it's just part of the journey, and you can't play tennis without traveling. So you just gotta somehow find a way just to deal with it. And I do love it. I do love it. And yeah, winning helps. But yeah, I've traveled to some amazing places, and I think traveling with friends, I got a lot of close friends in tennis, so that just makes you could be in slums of the slums, but it makes it so much fun. So yeah, I enjoy it.
So many memories, I'm sure. Regardless of results, you probably have some lifelong memories with some mates. Any standout places that you've been that you're like definitely going back here, regardless whether it's for tennis or not?
I could live here, kind of thing.
No, not live.
No.
Sunny, I come from the sunny coast.
Sunny coast. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, the standards are way too high. Sunny. Yeah. There's not any places I wouldn't go back to, even if I haven't really particularly loved it. But Japan's probably up there. Italy, anywhere in Europe, really. But Japan was awesome. But yeah, pretty much all the places have been pretty cool.
Nice, man. Nice. Look, one of the key things that people notice about you straight away is the look that you have. We can't not talk about your hair. Got one of the best haircuts in the game. You're rocking what'd you say you got that shirt? Thailand, $1?
Yeah, $1.30.
Sorry, $1.30?
Yeah. Maybe it's even $3 for $3. I don't know.
Are they trying to sponsor you or something?
Yeah, no, maybe. Hit me up if you want.
And I know that you, I remember when Latour first dropped their biggest Larry bunch. I remember seeing you on all the ads for it, the poster boy for it. Quite Larry, kind of like goes with that like standout look. Is it a part of it, or are you just doing you?
I haven't got much else in my game, so I'm just trying to hide my face with a haircut, I think.
Hide your face? What a harsh thing to say to yourself.
Sweeney, give yourself some credit,
Come
mate.
on, man. You're a beast. You guys should see the guns on this guy. He's a monster.
My mum hates it, so every time I go home I cop a bit of slack, but that's why I sharpened up the sides just to make it a bit more clean.
Oh, it's definitely it's very business on the side.
I wanted to come into 2023
the business mullet.
Pretty aerodynamic. So.
Dude, Rez mentioned you cracked 250. Just sort of last little tennis question, then we'd like to go into a bit more personal stuff with you. But like, you gave us a little rundown of what's coming up the next couple of months. Without sounding like brazen, like shoot for the stars. Like, what's your goal in tennis, man? What's the end goal? Where would you like to see yourself?
I think just to get to a point where I don't have to work afterwards. I think that would be unreal. I think a lot of people are working jobs they don't like, and when I look at that, I think that motivates me a lot to just achieve what I can. I don't have any real ranking goals. I see tennis more as a journey of just trying to get the most out of myself, and it brings about so many challenges, and you learn so much about yourself, and I think that's the beauty of tennis. But yeah, maybe just to be able to just stop after I play and not have to work a job, that'd be awesome. But I might go into coaching or something tennis related. I'm sure I will. I love the game too much to probably just go out of it cold turkey. But I don't have any real ranking goals.
Yeah. If you could win one tournament in the world, what would it be?
Oz Open.
Yeah. Over Wimbledon?
Yeah,
me too.
Sure.
Wow. Yeah. How many French Opens would you give up to win an Aussie Open?
Yeah, we talk about this. So, for instance, would you rather win 10 French Opens or one Aussie Open? Like, what's the number of Frenches?
Yeah, it's a ratio.
Would you trade off?
I'd probably take 3 Frenches over one Aussie.
3? Okay, pretty good.
Respect for the French. Well done.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah. Clay, I think Clay's. I'm not very good on clay, so if I was to win 3, I don't know. I'd probably slap myself in the face trying to wake up.
Thank you, Rafa, for retiring.
All right, dude. Let's talk a little bit more about you.
Dane the man.
Dane the man.
The person. The human.
Some things we always like to talk about. What's your vice when you wind down off the tennis court, what's your hobby? What do you like doing?
Just spending time with friends, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's the best switch off for me. And I have a lot of close friends in tennis. So honestly, whatever me and my friends get up to, there's no particular thing, but yeah, just hang out with friends. I'd say literally, we could go out nice dinner or just go to the beach. Going to the beach, actually, I would say when I'm back home. Actually, that's the first thing I do in the morning. The last thing I do when I'm done for training.
Nice.
Going to the beach is awesome to connect with nature and just switch off. Nice. Yeah, it's awesome.
I did see you reading a book out there.
Yeah.
What are you reading right now?
It's actually The Inner Game of Tennis by Timothy Galloway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing book. Keeps it super simple and kind of tries to bring like Zen Buddhism into tennis, and he
nice.
talks about it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Sorry to pull this out. This is the second time that you've said like keeping tennis simple. You said your dad keeps things quite simple, and you find good success there. You're talking about this book. Do people overcomplicate tennis a little bit too much
massively.
sometimes?
I've been told by every single coach I've worked with, and I've definitely done it myself. I'm a perfectionist, especially on court. Off court, I couldn't care less about anything really. But on court, I'm such a perfectionist. I overanalyze way too much and about technique, about thinking way too much. So the book helps tremendously with that, and it just talks about how to keep it really simple. And one of the things I learned about the book yesterday, actually, and I was focusing on court, was just when the point's on, to focus on the seams of the ball. Just look at the ball itself. Yeah, right. And then after the point's done, just focus on your breathing. So the mind finds it harder to distract itself, and it keeps it in the present. Because I tend to overanalyze, and I get anxious like everyone else, and it just keeps the mind from wandering. And I find it's helped, and hopefully I can continue to do that. It
was such a mental game too. I mean, you're out there by yourself. We always talk about it all the time. It's just one of the most unique sports. Like, you're out there problem solving so much on your own. So doing that homework of, the mental game outside of ours is so crucial. And
you were saying before, like, you had a quality opponent yesterday. I've been looking around this tournament, man, and the depth of the tour is just... It's insane.
You don't know, like, until...
No one sees it.
If you don't, like, really know tennis and you don't get out here to watch these challenger events, it's unbelievable how many good players. Even the futures, it's crazy.
Yeah.
If you're ranked inside, like, 1,000, you're a quality player. Like,
Agreed.
It's unreal. Like, even outside, like, 1,000, like, it's pretty daunting sometimes how many good players there are. And,
What do you think, you talk about people who don't really know, like, the system and maybe fans of the sport. What do you think one of the biggest misconception is, or one of the hardest things that people might not necessarily see about tennis as a professional sport?
I think people don't realise that even if you have 1 or 2 points, it's like, to get to that level, it has to be full time. Like, there's no stuffing around. Obviously, there's exceptions, like, but if you have any sort of like decent ranking, it's a full-time job. Like, it's unreal the amount of effort and amount of sacrifices you have to make to get to any sort of level in this sport. Like any sport, but tennis is pretty crazy at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Mate, you reading books? Any other books you've read? Any recommendations for the listeners?
I love a bit of Alan Watts. I love a bit of philosophy and. Yeah,
dude, you are way older than you are.
Yeah,
like, you are so mature for your age.
Like a young Buddhist monk here. Yeah. Like, are we having a interview with a tennis player? Or?
Who's that guy on Kung Fu Panda? The turtle? Is it the turtle?
Uguay.
Got a bit of Uguay about him.
Yeah.
Well, I guess instead of going to the mountains and meditating, I'm trying to do that through tennis, and it's definitely brings about a lot of challenges. So.
It's cool to see, man. It's really cool to see. I'm glad you're having a bit of success, mate. As we start to come into the back end of this. Just tell us, have you got any favourite tennis stories on tour, whether it be about yourself or a player, an interaction? Obviously we don't want to throw anyone under the bus or anything like this, but...
the beauty of editing, my friend.
Yes. Take your time, Dave.
Take your time. There are no mistakes on a podcast.
Oh, he's thinking hard too,
Rez. Wow. There's so many in there.
You can pass.
Nah, I got one. It might put me in a...
we don't want to put you in trouble.
Myself under the bus.
Do we have to give them a name? Like, we could just John.
I've got this friend.
I got this mate.
Yeah, I got this mate.
Who has a mullet and wears bright clothing.
Yeah. He looks a lot like me.
Dan, you know what? We're going to come back to this.
Yes,
you want to go back to it?
Yeah, I'll come back.
All right, real quick, rapid fire. Recommendation on Netflix. You watch anything? You probably more read than...
Recommendation on Netflix. I haven't watched much Netflix.
Yeah, you seem like more of
Yeah,
a
I
reader.
have watched a bit, but it's very sporadic. I don't watch it.
So there's no specific.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
Moving on. Books, kids.
Yeah,
books.
go to books. All right, go to binge meal. All right, what's your go to?
Binge meal. Sushi.
Yeah,
Sushi.
Hence the Japanese connection.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's so zen. It's
Arigato
crazy. Okay, you said you're working with your dad as a coach.
Yeah.
If you could bring on any other coach to join your team, who would it be?
Djokovic, because I think he's the
Oh,
best.
you bring on
a Djokovic.
player,
And
yeah.
I think he's just he brings on such a holistic approach to the game. I feel like he's not just tennis, because he's into his mountains and he's into his meditation, he's into all the weird stuff that I'm into. So
Yeah, but I mean, it pays dividends, right?
Yeah.
Remember, when he-
absolutely.
remember way back in the day, he used to pull out of everything, change his diet, change his mindset, and next minute he's like the GOAT. Well,
Yeah.
debatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
But
feels
yeah.
like he's on a
He's untouchable.
path that no one else is on. It's helped him achieve the best things in sports.
Okay, say you had to play Novak. Say you had to play him tomorrow. All right. Now you can set the scene. All right. So you get to choose the court, the surface, the crowd, the conditions, day, night, whatever. If you had everything working your way and you had Novak down the other end, what's the score?
And he's like fully locked in.
You
Like,
you don't know what Djokovic. You're
We'll
playing.
call him average on the
there's
day.
exhibition Djokovic and
No. It's
Grand
a
Slam
tournament.
No, it's a tournament. It's a tournament.
It's like a quarter final of a Grand Slam. So he's taking it
Yeah.
seriously.
Okay.
Quarterfinal Aussie Open.
But
Okay.
if you want that.
you are at your peak. Like
Peak.
you could not play any better. What's the score?
like a 3-3.
To you? Love it.
no,
Yes,
no.
he's confident.
Ah,
He's
yes,
confident.
If I'm playing peak and he's a bit off, I'm like 3-3. I just feel like the matchup, like maybe if I was 6'6" and a rocket serve, I could trouble him. But just my game style, I'm just not going to find ways through him. So yeah, just be extremely tough.
Straight down the middle.
Yeah,
Take a body
I'll
ball.
just pay him and trying to get him to forfeit or something. I don't know.
Talk about books in between. Change ends.
Yeah, change it.
Distract him in the
Yeah.
sun. Nice.
Unagi.
Unagi.
Yeah, was this? Oh no, we don't do that one. We passed on that one.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I would
did
like
we?
to know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, sorry. We got a few questions down. We always like to ask players this because you obviously travel the globe. Tennis is one of those sports. It's very international. You cross paths with a lot of players. You've probably played some or come across some big names before. Who's the biggest celebrity in your phone on your contacts?
Who do you feel like, I see that name, like, I can't believe I got that name.
Like-
Kyrgios,
Okay, there, Nick.
Yeah.
There we
Matt
go.
Rafter.
Oh,
Okay.
He
man.
actually came out on court the other day because I had a few sessions with him when I was maybe 5 years ago. Just came on court maybe like 4 times. And then he happened to be in Brisbane. I was training during the pre-season and my dad wanted him to look at my serve and he came out there so nice and just helped me my serve. It was awesome.
I was just about to say, is he as nice as everyone hopes he
he's
is?
so nice.
Yeah.
Legend. Absolute legend.
Oh, man.
Did he suggest more serve volley in your game?
I told him I don't serve volley. He just stopped there.
He just he exploded on the spot.
I'm leaving.
Probably saw my serve. He's like, yeah, probably stay back. Yeah.
Sweet. Come on, man.
Oh, man, he's got to get more confidence. Again, traveling on tour, you can throw one of your mates under the bus here. Who's the biggest pest on tour? Who would you hate to share a room with, travel with? Is there anyone that's just an absolute punish?
Like, it's clearly for me, just so you know, it's this guy. Like,
Yeah.
he's so droopy in the morning. He's a little, the temperature's too cold, that sort of thing. So, best mates, no worries.
No one like that, but one person.
No one
Right.
bad
No one's
Yeah,
bad
no
as
one's
you,
So
know.
it's Nelson.
I got a couple mates that's probably Arj. I don't know if you know a guy named Arj Marotra. I think he just got his first point in New Zealand. a couple
Oh,
weeks
congratulations.
ago.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Nice.
No,
Nice.
I love Arjun, but he snores his head off. So, I can't sleep in a room with him.
Yeah, fair call. Dane, you've been so generous with your time, man. I just want to finish this podcast off with just any advice you'd give to players, looking to sort of start following in the footsteps of what you're doing at the moment and hopefully travel further. Like, what's just a bit of advice you've learned along the way that you think would be real valuable for anyone who wants to take on tennis?
I think it's super easy to become very obsessive about the sport because you kind of have to be good. But I think trying to use tennis as your vehicle to get where you want to be in life, and not playing tennis to achieve results. I think trying to use tennis to get where you want to be, and it brings about so many challenges. So I think trying to use tennis as your vehicle to really become a better person. I feel.
Love it, man. Love it.
Beautiful message. Beautiful message.
Dane, thank you so much for jumping on, man. Good luck with the rest of the tournament. Good luck this summer,
so
dude.
much.
We'll be cheering. We'll be, we'll be on the train, the Unagi train.
The Unagi train.
Let's go meditate.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Right
let's
here.
do it, man.
Let's close the door.
Yeah.
Should we do it together?
Yeah, let's do it.
Bit of booch.
Thanks for taking my podcast virginity.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey,
First
pleasure,
podcast.
man. Love
Hey.
it. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see Dane as well play at the Canberra International,
Please.
come down, check him out. The guy's entertaining as hell, and he's a fantastic player, great guy. We, just met you for the first time, and it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
And you
thanks
can't
so much,
and you can't miss him either. Like you stand out.
Absolutely.
Unless I'm behind a small wall.
Well, guys, thanks so much for listening to Tennis Culture Podcast. If you got any value out of this, please like, click, share, subscribe. Until next time, this is Rez Nelson and Dane Sweeny from Tennis Culture Podcast signing
Out.
Oh, I nailed it!